Thanks for coming back. You're watching Hoods. Man alive! Andersonville is full of exciting places. Now we take a quick look at Transistor.
Andersonville is home to many eclectic stores. One of these unique shops is Transistor. This performance space and art gallery was opened up by Andersonville couple and artists Ronnie Wolpert and Andy Miles. Their goal is to create a community and educational space where you can hang out, learn, and view or purchase artwork.
We represent about 40 artists. We have performances every Friday night. We have free film screenings on Tuesday, and we were started by myself and my husband Andy, who live in the neighborhood.
This space may look quaint, but it holds a lot of one-of-a-kind merchandise. They carry everything from photography and literature to electronics. With this wide variety, Transistor has something for everyone.
We have a few different categories of merchandise. We have art, which, like I said, is about 40 different artists. Most of them are photographers, but we have some painting, some illustration, mixed media, artists who create lamps, or light sculpture, you could say, but lamps. So that's art. We have electronics, so we have turntables, headphones, handmade electronic musical instruments. But we're a unique storefront in the city in that we carry handmade electronic instruments, which is hard to find and is unique in the city. So that's electronics, music, indie music, and kind of electronic our niches. Books about art, architecture, fashion, design, some city guides and that sort of thing. So that's our merchandise, and then we're adding to it, and we have various other elements, and then artist work, and we have clocks, and we have some things that we've made too, so that's another goal. It's a great outlet for ourselves and what we do.
Along with the events and merchandise, the owners offer tutorials on different computer software and the basics in drawing and digital photography. These workshops are pretty affordable.
They're usually $50 for 2 hours, but depending on how many people register for it, they can get a discount on that. And it's everything from like software like Adobe products like Photoshop, After Effects, Illustrator, to figure drawing, to we've had circuit bending, GarageBand, digital photography, and they're all in that price range.
Whether you are looking to shop, learn, hang out, or even display your artwork, Transistor offers it all.
People who are making really interesting work that like to come in and who kind of feel like they have a connection with what we're doing should feel free to contact us, because we're interested in new artists and artists that are local to Chicago, and we really have a real affinity with our neighbors and our shoppers and really love the people that come in, so we're really happy to be doing this, and we just love to have people coming in and hanging out and spending some time with us.
Transistor is located at 5045 North Clark Street and is open every day from 1 to 7. For information about upcoming events, visit their website at www.transistorchicago.com.
Hanging out at Transistor sounds like too much fun. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we will take a look at Galleria. It's a cooperative art gallery located in Andersonville. So meet us back here. Don't miss a minute on Hoods.
People to see what's going on at Columbia? Don't keep it sitting on a VHS at home. Get it out there. Frequency TV is now looking for student submissions to air all over campus on Chicago's cable channel 25, streaming online 24/7 on frequencytelevision.com. And it's easy. Step 1. All you have to do first is create something that you're passionate about. It can be short films, sketches, music videos, animation, or anything broadcast. Then what? You want people to see it, right? Well, then submit it to Frequency. Step 1, make. Then step 2, submit to Frequency. To submit, just stop by the FTV office on the 14th floor of the 600 South Michigan building or visit us online at frequencytelevision.com. Once again, step 1, make. Then step 2, submit to Frequency. Get your work shown. Visualize yourself on Frequency TV.
Visualize yourself. Welcome back. As you can see, art is a huge part of Andersonville. The Galleria holds a collection of work from Andersonville artists, as well as many other Chicago-based artists.
The Andersonville Galleria is like an artist cooperative. Many artists sharing a space, each paying their share of said space. Like other stores in Andersonville, the Galleria is a small retailer, owned by locals.
We have a wonderful vintage building in the heart of Andersonville. It was completely gut rehabbed and built out to be this Galleria. We went for the maximized space, obviously. We have a great community of people who believe in fair trade, in artistic development. And for most artists that we have in this building, this is their first foray into retail. They need to be represented, and an idea born of a need for people to have a small amount of space just for representation. We're not different than a regular gallery. We don't take half their commissions, but we do charge a monthly rent and a small percentage of their sales.
So far, the Galleria has 90 tenants. They each get a booth that is 4 feet by 8 feet. The booths are throughout the Galleria's main floor, the mezzanine, and the second floor. Artists set their items up in the booths, and they price them.
We sell everything you can think of, from vintage to contemporary, handmade bags and clothes and jewelry, photography, gourmet foods, lots of fair trade, pretty much one from every country. And photography, great photographers here, and a lot of unique things. People come here to shop. They do a one-stop shop here, which is great for Christmas time coming up, you know.
Every item is equipped with a specific barcode, unique to each artist. And every time an item is sold, the money goes to said artist.
But we're at the point now where it's just a great place to start a business. Very low overhead. We have a full-time paid staff. We have all the checking out done and all the security systems done, and pretty much you don't have to be here. But if you come, you can talk to the people walking around. It's a great way to sell your art. And if you know much about artists, they're not really good at that. So we kind of help them along on the days that they're not here. We stay in close touch with them. Everybody emails us or phones us. Usually our artists come off the street and walk around and love the vibe and say, how do I get in? We have an application process, which starts off by filling out an application on our website, which is andersonvillegalleria.com. Addressing it to manager at, and they are the jury to get in. Obviously, we don't want 99 vendors and one scarf dealer, so we kind of go for an eclectic mix of things that will look good together, artists that seem to kind of work together. Most of the fair trade people know each other here. They tell other people, and we don't do very much recruiting because we're full. It's just a very nurturing environment for new artists. We try not to give them impossible hopes like, okay, you're going to come next week and all of your things are going to be sold. But we also tell them what we feel, maybe you could do this or maybe you could do that. How about printing some cards instead of just doing your paintings? We give them as much help as we can, and it's become a really nice community. We have wonderful people here.
The Galleria is home to many different artists throughout Illinois. The Galleria gives Andersonville another eclectic space to share work and make a living.
Sounds like artists have a great place to present their work. I wonder if they'll take some of my stick figures that are hanging on my refrigerator. It's worth a shot, right? Right now we're going to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to take a look at Granola, a company that sells their product through the Galleria. We'll be back to you in a few minutes. See you in a few on Hoods.
Hi, I'm Taylor Westlake. I'm a graphic design major, and visualize yourself on Frequency TV.
My name is John Remo. My major is graphic design. Visualize yourself on.
graphic arts major, and I want you to visualize yourself on Frequency TV.
Kurt Cook, film and video, visualize yourself on Frequency TV.
Thanks for tuning into Hoods. I'm your host, Tara Johnson. In our next segment, we'll take a look at granola. The products there present granola. The products there present present at the Galleria have a very interesting story.
If you're looking for fair trade goods, Granola is just the spot for you.
Granola, it's a women's fair trade, eco-friendly clothing and accessories line. We're a wholesaler and retailer of both the clothing and accessories. About 10 years ago, I was working in a coffee shop, and I got really fascinated by fair trade. And with that, I thought, it'd be really neat to do a fashion line that was, good for the environment, but also good for the producers, and also good for the person that's wearing it. I had been in and out of school, kind of, finding out what, was my life calling. And in that time, I traveled to many places like Peru and Thailand and Slovakia, and got to see poverty right, up close and personal. And in seeing that, it was another reason why, I was very passionate about fair trade, and, was very encouraged to do a business that was very socially responsible and took on these fair trade principles. Fair trade is like just trade or good trade, meaning there's no exploitation of the worker, so no sweatshop labor, no child labor. And in Bolivia, where we work, many of the women are single mothers, so by working for Granola, they're able to bring their children to work. We're paying a living wage, and we also provide all of our producers with access to health care. My goal is to grow my business, comparable to, like a Nike or a Patagonia, and be really well known and kind of change the face of fashion, and show women that you can be a responsible shopper, but still be stylish. We specialize in alpaca. Alpaca is it's a fiber that's indigenous to Bolivia. It's a renewable resource, very lightweight, and it caters, to the Chicago climate. So right now we have a lot of knitted items like gloves, hats, headbands, and then we also have been a big seller of jewelry. All of our jewelry is recycled. We source scrap metals on the Bolivian market, melt them down and reuse it. And then we just started doing like ready-to-wear clothing and t-shirts and stuff. I picked the Andersonville Galleria because Andersonville community itself is very green, very kind of forward-thinking. They have a lot of green initiatives. And then this Galleria it was a really cool concept. It's like a cooperative, and I felt that my company fit right in with kind of the artist feel of it, and we do pretty well here. So
You can also check out what Granola has to offer at www.granola.com.
Granola has some great gifts for all occasions. Now we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at a well-known theater company in Andersonville, the Neo Futurarium. So come right back to Hoods.
On at Columbia, don't keep it sitting on a VHS at home. Get it out there. Frequency TV is now looking for student submissions to air all over campus on Chicago's cable channel 25, streaming online 24/7 on frequencytelevision.com. And it's easy. Step 1. All you have to do first is create something that you're passionate about. It can be short films, sketches, music videos, animation, or anything broadcast. Then what? You want people to see it, right? Well, then submit it to Frequency. Step 1, make. Then step 2, submit to Frequency. To submit, just stop by the FTV office on the 14th floor of the 600 South Michigan building or visit us online at frequencytelevision.com. Once again, step 1, make. Then step 2, submit to Frequency. Get your work shown. Visualize yourself on Frequency TV.
Visualize yourself.
Thanks for coming back to Hoods. Andersonville is home to one of Chicago's most well-known theaters. The Neo-Futurists have an interesting approach to theater, as well as an interesting place in which their theater is housed.
Theater is a huge part of Chicago. Numerous Chicago theaters are nationally recognized. Andersonville is home to one of the most unique theaters, and it houses Chicago's longest-running show.
The Neo-Futurists are home of Too Much Light Makes the Baby Go Blind, which is the longest running show in Chicago. And we don't play characters. So other theaters, there'll be, Hamlet, or there'll be Peter Pan or Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but here it's clear that you are in a theater with people who are real people. We're dressed in our street clothes, and we don't pretend to be something that we're not. We never lie to our audiences, and I know that part of the theatrical experience is the suspension of disbelief, but here we actually believe that the real live experience is even crazier than that.
The Neo-Futurists have a unique view on the purpose of theater.
The Neo-Futurist aesthetic, which is based on the Italian Futurists, the Dadas, the Surrealists, Brecht. It brings together a lot of different strands of experimental theater into one aesthetic. It's really important to have a truthful experience between the audience and the performers. We're really interested in the fact that the live experience is what makes coming to the theater different from just turning on your TV or going to a movie.
Too Much Light Makes the Baby Go Blind is a mainstay in Chicago theater.
Too Much Light is 30 plays in 60 minutes. All the plays are in random order, and the audience, everybody gets a menu of all the plays. So it's sort of based on, if you got a Chinese takeout menu or whatever, order by number. So and if you're sitting in the audience, you look at your menu and you say, okay, I want that one, and you yell out the name, yell out the number of that play. Whoever yells out their number first is, or the loudest, or whatever one of the performers here gets that number pulled. All the plays are in a clothesline over the stage, so there's one number for each play. So the performers pull that number down, read the name of the play, and then they say the cue word, which is go. And then after they say go, the play begins. And the play ends when the performers say curtain. This is all done on a timer. So after 60 minutes is up, however many plays have been performed, that's the show.
The Neo-Futurarium is one of the most exciting theaters in town. It's located at 5153 North Ashland Avenue. For information on the theater, please visit www.theneofuturists.org.
The Neo-Futurarium is a fascinating place. I definitely plan to check out that show. If you're in Andersonville, make sure you catch the show. Thanks to Karen Abercrombie and Veronica Robinson from the Swedish American Museum for teaching us the history of Andersonville. I really enjoyed those treats from the Swedish bakery. They were absolutely delicious. Woolly Mammoth and Transistor, look out for me because I'll be there. They look like really neat places to visit in Andersonville. The Galleria and Granola showcased art that Andersonville has to offer. Too Much Light Makes a Baby Go Blind is a must-see show at the Neo-Futurarium. Well, unfortunately, that wraps up our show. Thanks for watching Hoods. I'm Tara Johnson, reminding you to tune in here to find out more on the interesting neighborhoods of Chicago.